There we go. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're doing well. And I'm going to be unboxing the brand new Nintendo Switch 2. I stood in line last night like the schmuck that I am at 40 years of age. To be fair, most of the other people in line seem to be about my age. So it's kind of like we all grew up nerding out on the same thing. So yeah, I picked it up at the midnight launch last night and immediately came home and went to bed. So I haven't cracked it open yet, and I want to do that right here. We're going to see what we're looking at. This thing was announced, early this year? Was the official unveiling? I can't even remember now, but yeah, I've been a Nintendo fan my entire life. I'm a bit of a W for Mario, and there he is right on the box. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. I can't see squat. Excellent. We got a live chat going as well. I better make sure that my YouTube peeps are able to chat with everybody else. Make sure that's rocking and rolling, looking good. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to be able to see what everybody else is saying. So, hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday. It is Switch 2 launch day. Let's crack this bad boy open and see how it compares to the original Switch and how it feels in me hands. Ooh. I've never done an official unboxing video. I mean, I've opened things in boxes before whilst filming myself, but never in this official, unofficial capacity. So, it comes with some very fancy instructions right on the inlay of the box, telling you how to set it up if you've never set up a video game console or any sort of entertainment thingamajig in the last 2 decades. And I'm clearly not prepared because I don't have a camera to look at the box, so we're just going to be doing it like that. Woo! There it is! Look at her go! JoyCons and a Switch. Also, first thing I noticed too is like this box, welcome to 2025, the system is bigger than the Switch 1, but the box is smaller, so we're getting way more eco-conscious with the packaging around these parts. All right, so there is the Switch itself. Cool, let's get it out of its plastic condom here. It's sealed up for mine and yours protection. Ooh. Ooh, that's got a really nice feel to it. It's a nice matte finish on the back. It says Switch 2. There's the screen. One thing I was seeing in some videos is that apparently there is a built-in screen protector of sorts, but more so what it's for, and they were putting out warnings saying, don't peel this off of your system, so I'm not going to poke at it. But I guess it's a protection device that if you drop your Switch, the glass won't go shattering everywhere. And I don't know, they felt like they needed to say that to make people aware. It's like the equivalent of, in the manuals for cars, don't lick your battery posts. But anyways, the new kickstand on the back, way bigger. Let's pop that bad boy out. Look at that. Ooh. It's just, look, it's so aerodynamic. We're going to go so much faster now when we're going down the luge. That's cool. And it just, yep, there you go. Adjust my camera. Let's move this box over here for a second. Oh, God. Move all the stuff. There's wrapping everywhere. There it is. A cute little thing. Should have had a better display table right here. Good morning, Tina. Good morning. Walks with Bender. Hello, Melissa Johnson. Joe W. Life Adventures. Giving some shout outs here. How you doing, Lone Wolf? Happy Thursday. Hopefully you're doing well. All right, so that's that bad boy. Now let's grab a couple. Let's grab a couple of the Joy-Cons. It only comes with 2. All right, a blue one and a red one. And I do like this new color scheme. Oh, they feel really nice as well. I mean, it's new. What are you going to open? Is Nintendo really going to be making a product where you open it up and go, ew? Probably not. So there we go. With the left and right Joy-Cons, those are cool. I was going to say, I'm a big fan of the way they've done this now with the more subtle colors and just the highlights of them with an all-over, more or less black appearance. And they are much, much bigger. I'm going to grab the original Switch. Hang on. Take it out of this holder. There we go. Put that aside. And so, yeah, first things first, let's pop off the Joy-Cons. Good afternoon, Shani Jones. How are you? Karen Stevens. Good afternoon. Where are you in the world? It's 8:30 in the morning where I am. All right, so I got the left Joy-Con here from the original Switch and the left Joy-Con from the new Switch. So that is a noticeable size difference. I mean, line it up, make sure it's, wait, where do I line it up with? It is bigger though. It's chunkier, girthier. Everybody just calm down. And then the actual Switch. So this is the OLED Switch. Well, I guess it's the same size. I never changed the size except for the light. But for the light, you can't take off the Joy-Cons. So this is the original Nintendo Switch, right? Bada bing, bada boom. hold this up here to the new Mama Jamma. Got to do this without reflecting the light. The big glowing circle, right? That is considerable for sure. What's it called around the edge? The bezel? I would say, oh no, it's got a pretty big bezel on it actually. Percentage-wise, the OLED bezel on the OLED looks smaller. I mean, the screen itself is definitely bigger, but there is a fairly large bezel on the Switch too. So that's cool. And then for those that might not know, the original Switch one, the way the Joy-Cons attach, they slide on, right? Boom. Boom. This one has a much more, best way, whoops, I'm banging my mic around, my apologies. Best way to describe it is like it's got a little bit more of a glossy, plasticky finish, right? Where overall the Switch 2 is very matte feeling and it's quite nice. But anyway, so those ones slide on. These ones are apparently magnets. And this little trigger on the back of the Joy-Con here is what's supposed to release them, right? So let's see, let's just, oh, yep, no problem there. And here, super simple. It's not hard to yard it off. Maybe it wasn't secured quite enough. Okay. Okay, not so bad. You can definitely pull them off without disengaging the magnets, for sure. Maybe I'm just really buff, and that's one thing I have going for me. Nintendo can't beat the utter strength of Triple 64. But if you don't want to be a savage, press that button and it pops them right out. Well, that's cool. All it does, it's not like it's disengaging a battery or anything. You push this trigger here, and it pops up that little tit. Look at it go. And that's what pushes it away from the system. Okay. Fancy. So that's the size of the whole, there's the whole footprint here. So we got this bad boy. How do I do this to make sure it's fair? Yeah. I mean, size isn't everything. But one of my, like, not a complaint, but I mean, the Switch one, this is doable and totally fine. And obviously a lot of us have been doing it for years, right? In my hand, oh, it's massive feeling. Now I know what you mean, ladies. No. Anyway, that's, how do the Joy-Cons feel on their own? Pop them off. Yeah, all right. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Jules. Annie P. The second in parenthesis. How are you? Also, TJ Fischel. How you doing, my man? Happy Thursday. Happy Switch 2 launch day. We're looking at this sucker. Anybody ever play? Because like that's the thing too with the Switch is you can play it with in multiplayer by holding the Joy-Cons like this. You've always been able to, and there's two bumper buttons up here. This feels really lame. But I will say, if having to do it, the bigger size of the new Joy-Cons is nice, but this is still not an ideal way to play any video game ever. I don't care who you are. All right, so there's that. Before we power this sucker on and see, because also I'm going to have to update it. There's a big day one patch because, of course, there is. What else we got in the box here? Hell. My apologies. Open this bad boy up. We got a whole bunch of words, basically saying that Nintendo owns my soul. I've got my download code for Mario Kart World. So I'll have to get that. Rocking and rolling. All right, we've got an HDMI cable, of course. We've got, oh yeah, the little dongle bits for the Joy-Cons when they're off the wrist straps or whatever. They look very different. They're not... I never really used these, but again, this is all like, this started back with the Wii, when Nintendo initially had you waving your hand around like a crazy person. They included wrist straps, right? So there are games on the Switch, and of course there will be on the Switch too, that do this as well. But these are different. These ones are see-through. Well, not see-through. They're not just see-through. They're actually, there's nothing there. I can shove my fat pinky right through that. This is quality unboxing content, I'll have you know. Right? That's weird though. Whereas the Switch 1, I don't even have mine because I never used them. They're probably floating around the van somewhere. But yeah, so let me see. This just, which way does it go? Like this? That's not right. Like this. That's not right. This is already, I'm already being defeated. This is annoying. Okay, oh, like, oh, they got to kind of, oh, all right. From the bottom to the top and snap her in. Then the idea is if you're using this for motion control, you put the strap around your wrist, hence the name wrist strap. Paid some genius at Nintendo to come up with that. Hello, old school gamer, how you doing? And then there you go, right? So then if you're flailing it around like an insane 5-year-old who's got one of those, and you let it go, you can smack yourself in the back of the head, but not another person across the room. Fancy. That is the first and probably only time I will ever use those. Oh, and then you use the eject button to pop them off as well. So there's a red one and a blue one. Although, are we really calling this red? I would argue that this is coral. Maybe even salmon. But, all right, snap that back on there. I must have a power cord in here as well. Continue to pull out the inlays. I'm going to do my best to keep the box intact this time. I never normally keep boxes. Wait, is this going here? Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, because the switch was on top. I guess I could actually put my wrist straps back in here because I'm telling you what. Let's put it back into its protective sleeve. I agree, it's coral, yeah. Right? Zora, good morning, good morning. +6. What are you saying +6 to? All right, there we go. Cool. All right, so that goes back in here. Put the inlay down, you bastard. There we go. Pull the whole sucker out. And on the bottom... Oh, yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this big, large rectangle? That would be the dock that we need to play the sucker. Oh, okay. And this time it does... Oh, cool. All right. So the original Switch's power cable is just... Where is it? I actually have mine right over here. It's a regular old power brick. I'm actually using it to charge my phone right now. But it's just it's wired. You can't do anything about it, right? And this cord goes down, and it's a USB-C cable. The Switch 2 comes with a wall charger brick that has a USB-C attachment. So like that's cool. If you ever lose the actual USB-C cable that comes with the Switch 2, you can just use whichever one you want. I remember back near the beginning when the Switch first launched, people were using third-party chargers and bricking their consoles. I mean, that was the rumor that was going around anyway. Hey, Darren W., how you doing, my man? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the live stream. So that's cool. So we'll need this to charge it and power the damn thing. Oh, there's the new grippy grip. So when you don't want to play in handheld mode, you can slap your JoyCons into the grip. It says Nintendo Switch 2 on it. This part has the same matte finish as the console, where your fingers grip. That is a much more smooth or glossy feel, especially on the inside. This is very glossy, but you wouldn't see that. What you would do, you take your JoyCons, right? Slap them in here. The original Switch came with I'm doing great. Came with a very similar thing, right? So there you go. And there's the JoyCons in controller form, let's say, whatever. It's called the Joy-Con grip, right? I mean, again, because of its bigger form factor, it's a little bit more comfortable than the original Switch. So that's cool. I did get myself the Pro controller because, really? All right. And last but not least, I can't do a comparison to the original Switch dock. If you know, you know, and we're not going to talk about it. But, ooh, look at that beefy sucker. So this dock is way bigger than the original Switch, and that's because this thing has the ability to run in 4K 120 frames per second. I don't believe it can do both of those. I think it can either do 4K resolution at 60 frames per second or 1080p resolution at 120 frames per second. Either way, those are some large numbers for a Nintendo product especially. So there's fans in here in the actual dock to keep this sucker cool. Now, does this come off? Oh, it does. So there you go. You take that off the back, and that's where all of your shit plugs in. That's the official statement released by Nintendo. It's where you plug your shit in. All right, you got your AC adapter, HDMI cable, and a spot for your Ethernet cable for all that sick online gaming. I guess Mario Kart World is online, so there's that. Right? It's very fancy. It's nice. So it's flat on one side, says Nintendo Switch 2. The other side is a little bit more bulbous, where all of the internals are. And then take this bad boy, and does it matter which way it goes in? Why did I have to make it so tall? I'm always paranoid about scratching the screen when I put it in. Oh, yeah. It nests right in there. Look at that. Where's the JoyCons at? We're going to have to charge this guy up. Okay, eject from this thing. Probably never use that again. Well, that's not true. Multiplayer session. That'll come in handy, that Joy-Con grip. There we go. And there's the system in its dock. here's the Switch 1. Not in its dock, because reasons and sad day. But that's super cool. I do like the black overall look. It sort of like makes Nintendo feel like they're stepping away from the kiddie feel of this. Like this really does, and this is not an original quote. Is like I've watched a lot of videos regarding this, but this does have the look and feel of a children's toy. Always sort of has. That's where Nintendo started, right? Back in the day, they were a toy making company, or actually, I think they started as a card game company way back when. Right? And they've always been geared towards family entertainment, so it makes sense. But yeah, like now having them and feeling them both at the same time, this feels so much more like a toy. It's even got that toy rattle. Whereas this, just its overall appearance, still got a little bit of a rattle. That makes sense because it's got parts that come apart from it, or yeah, detached from it. The look and the feel just feels premium. It feels like it belongs in the same family as like the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, as far as Nintendo goes, you know? So, yeah, that is super cool. All right. Well, there it is. The Switch 2 is unboxed. Now there's nothing left to do but get it hooked up and see how she does initially. And just so everybody on YouTube is aware, I am doing an all-day stream on Twitch right now that will be more or less uninterrupted. But for the sake of the YouTube channel here, the live streams are going to end periodically, like this one is going to in about a minute, so that it creates a separate video just for this unboxing of it. So if you want to see all of today uninterrupted, come join me over on Twitch. There should be a link in the description, I would assume, maybe not. But it's 64 ENT over on Twitch. That being said, I will be starting a new live stream within about 5 minutes here on YouTube. So keep a lookout for that, and we'll see you all back here. So everybody say